back to my YouTube channel. It's Princess here. So today I'll be sharing with you some couple of things that actually helped me for my mini vacation. So one thing I would say is when you're planning on going on a vacation to another place, it is better. The best thing you should consider first is you should try and start your research on time. You try and start your bookings on time, because when you do it before the particular time, maybe let's assume you're going on vacation maybe next month, so it's better. Let's just say maybe it's somewhere just outside London that is still within the UK, so it's better you do it early. It is very, very important when you start your preparation very, very early. So mine wasn't early because I wasn't prepared anyways, I would say. So, but at first I did my research online to check some couple of places which I can just go there for relaxation for some time, for some period of days. So to explore with other people, to see different kinds of people there. So, and me doing my research online actually helped me to see some places, and eventually I was able to choose this particular place, which is Manchester City. So the first thing I make sure was done was the transportation first. At first, me checking the transportation for using the train or the bus. So I know mine was different because I actually went for the bus, because I was able to check online to see to check some trains app, and what I saw, it was kind of expensive. I was seeing some for £100, and one thing I don't like about what I was seeing online was the fact that having luggage is a lot of loads with you, and now with your loads and different kinds of things you've got with you, now having a stopover alongside is going to be very stressful. You wouldn't want to stress yourself, because even at that particular time, it was a festive period. When I went for the vacation, it was around the festive period, so there was a lot of things that was done. So, and there was another stopover, like me having a change of train from one particular train to another train. So I saw that as a stress for me, so I couldn't go for the train. And even with the price and the difference between the train and the bus, it was not even that much, because I was saying for the train was bringing like 4 hours 30 minutes. Some was giving me 5 hours in total, while the bus was giving me it was 6 hours. So, and even I actually knew that with that 6 hours I was seeing online, it might not even eventually be that 6 hours. We might get there before the 6 hours. That's one thing about this transportation in this country, because most times they'll tell you so time, and you might end up getting there earlier than the time, and most times you might get there the exact time. So I actually went for the bus. I used my Flix bus, so it was easy for me to just do the returning ticket. So I saw the one for one way and return, so I click on return and I book for my bus. So it was easy for me doing that kind of thing. It was easy me making my bookings in advance to the time of my traveling. So, and when I got to the day I was actually traveling to go for the vacation, so it was comfortable for me. It was a convenient day because I was even thinking that my own thinking was that how it's going to be so bored me using the bus and the lights. Just me, when I got to the coach station, I saw a lot of people that also wants to use the bus. I was like, wow, so this is nice. I'm not the only one here, because I was thinking that me using the train might be more faster. We know the trains are always faster than the bus. So when I got to the bus, it was so easy. It's the exact time. It came before the time, anyways. I would say maybe I was supposed to leave London around 8:10. So the bus came before 8, which was helpful. So we started our journey. So it was a seamless journey. It was so good, and it was nice. I was seeing different kinds of things. I was viewing alongside. So, and inside the bus we've got a toilet, a restroom is there whereby you can actually do whatever you want to do there, which was nice. It has a charging point there too, whereby you can sit down, relax, and charge your phone, and you feel free to do whatever you want to do inside the bus. And the day was actually windy, because it was a very good time, and we know it's actually a winter time in the UK. So my journey was nice. It was okay. I love it. It was so smooth while we were going, and the bus driver was very careful while we were going. He was being careful, because we can't compare the use of train to the use of bus. So we are both using the road, I would say, but when you're using the bus, the driver has to be very careful, because we've got a lot of buses around you, cars and lorries and every other thing. So another one I would talk about is the accommodation. I was able to check online before the time I will be traveling to the place. I searched some couple of hotels before that time. I said we should always prepare before the time, but mine was in the other way, and it was just let's assume I was going around January. I did it maybe late December. So I saw some couple of hotels. Some were expensive, so it was expensive. I saw some for £300, £400, a lot, £500. So because I was just going to use like 3 days for the vacation, so I saw there's this lovely app hotel I saw, which was not bad. 3 nights was for £170 thereabouts, because I might want to need something, I want to explore within the location. So I want something that is very closer for me, whereby I can just go and just come back, and not that I'll just be asking for location or checking my map on this and that. I'll be saying maybe 1 hour to the place I'm going to. Now I wouldn't want that stress for myself. So I had to use this lovely hotel, I said, and I love their service. At first, it was a nice service. The staff actually welcomed me very well. I love what I was saying. I love because it was actually what I saw online anyways, because I checked online. I was able to check very well. I was so careful, because I wouldn't want somewhere where it's not safe. So I had to go for that. And later on, I went back to the same site. I used booking.com. I went back to the same site to check the same hotel some days before the day I want to travel. So when I checked the app, it was another thing entirely. I knew at first that is how it's going to be, because it is festive period, so I would expect more of that. Okay, so when I checked back when I checked back to see the hotel, I was saying something like, I said it was £170. So when I checked back, I was saying like £200. I was like, wow. And other hotels I said they were like 200, thereabouts 300. It was kind of a bit expensive as well too. So I was just like, good. So that's what I'm saying. When you want to go for a vacation, even if it's just 2 days nights, make sure you plan yourself very well before the time, because anything can happen, any changes can happen, and it is better when you book your either bus or train, you book it on time to save the stress, number one, to save your expenses as well too, because you might see it, you might be thinking maybe, okay, you saw a particular train for so amount last month. When you check back, obviously it's going to be the price is going to increase, because you can't expect the same price you see last few months to be the same. So literally, I would say when you want to go for a vacation, it is better you plan yourself properly. You plan a lot of things ahead of the time. You make your full research about the location, about things to do, the activities to do there, and if it is that you choose not to do any activities, you can just relax and do some other things while you are there. So now another thing I did was in the aspect of the restaurant and the food there. The food there was nice anyways. I was open to visit. There's this African restaurant, Enrich Restaurants there. I was open to visit Enrich Restaurants because I checked online as well. So I was like, at least in this environment, they should have an African restaurant. So I checked there, and I was able to say, okay, the distance was not far from the hotel which I was staying in. So I visited the restaurant and I checked. When I got there, it was a nice restaurant. The environment was welcoming anyways. So I didn't eat anything there anyways. I did a takeaway. So I went with the soup in our own African food. There's this food we call the pepper soup. So I've been longing to taste the pepper soup for a long time anyway. So when I got there, I just went for that. It was just like a starter meal. So I ordered for the pepper soup, and when I got to my hotel back, and when I was ready to take it, it was nice. It was tasty. So the Heritage restaurant is a nice restaurant whereby when you get to Manchester, when you have the opportunity you need anything like that maybe like African food, you can go there. They have a lot of food there as well too. They have different kinds of delicious meals there. So I saw like there's jollof rice, fried rice, pounded yam and delights, a lot of things there, and they have a lot of drinks as well, nice drinks in the restaurant. I was able to go to there's this restaurant again, the Italian restaurant there. I took some pastas and cheese there, and there's another one I went to. I could not even remember the name. So I took pasta, pizza. So, and the pizza was nice anyways. It was so soft, and it has this particular taste. It was kind of different from the one you get when you go to shopping malls. It was a freshly baked one. Yeah, it was a freshly baked pizza, so like £200. I was like, wow. And other hotels I said they were like 200, thereabouts 300. It was kind of a bit expensive as well too. So I was just like, good. So that's what I'm saying. When you want to go for a vacation, even if it's just 2 days nights, make sure you plan yourself very well before the time, because anything can happen, any changes can happen, and it is better when you book your either bus or train, you book it on time to save the stress, number one, to save your expenses as well too, because you might see it, you might be thinking maybe, okay, you saw a particular train for so amount last month. When you check back, obviously the price is going to increase, because you can't expect the same price you see, last few months to be the same. So literally, I was saying, when you want to go for your vacation, it is better you plan yourself properly. You plan a lot of things ahead of the time. You make your full research about the location, about things to do, the activities to do there, and if you choose not to do any activities, you can just relax and do some other things while you are there. So now another thing I did was in the aspect of the restaurant and the food there. The food there was nice anyways. I was opportune to visit. There's this African restaurant, Enrich Restaurants there. I was opportune to visit Enrich Restaurants because I checked online as well. So I was like, at least in this environment, they should have an African restaurant. So I checked there and I was able to say, okay, the distance was not far from the hotel which I was staying in. So I visited the restaurant and I checked. When I got there, it was a nice restaurant. The environment was welcoming anyways. So I didn't eat anything there anyways. I did a takeaway. So I went with the soup in our own African food. There's this food we call the pepper soup. So I've been longing to taste the pepper soup for a long time anyway. So when I got there, I just went